Separation of variables, also known as the way that we solve differential equations. So this is, well, the way that we solve differential equations. You've seen this. You saw it in a little thing I threw into a previous lesson. If you're in BC, you saw this on a Post-it note. You've seen it when we did slope fields. And now let's just do it. Let's just call it a lesson. We're going to do it. There's some steps up here that are pretty easy to walk through. I'm going to kind of ignore them and just do what they say. Find the general solution. Okay, first of all, general solution, we can't ignore it. C is in the answer. And then in this particular solution, we know C, or we'll find C. We know C, the constant of integration. So, still ignoring the steps, but I wanted to kind of point that out. Find the general solution, y equals f of x. They'll often word it that way. So find the general solution, y equals f of x. So we're going to just solve for y, and that is our function, for this differential equation, which is slope. And then the second sentence is a different question, so different thing to do. We're going to leave that. We're going to leave that one until next Tuesday, depending on what day you're watching this video. So dy over dx equals x squared minus x. Let's separate the variables. That's the title of the lesson. All my y's go to one side, all my x's to the other. You have done this in a different context when we were dealing with slope fields, but we're going to do it anyway. So dy equals x squared minus x, and then I bring the dx up, and I have this, okay? So at this point, I have stuff that looks like it just really wants to be integrated, so we're going to just, well, integrate it. We'll integrate it in green, because that's what we do. The integral of dy is 1. Y. And you might say, oh, plus c. I hear you. Hold your c's. The integral of x squared would be x cubed. I lied. It's 1/3 x cubed. The integral of x would be x squared. I lied. It's 1/2 x squared. I lied again. That negative comes down. Okay. When we integrate this side, we had a c. When we integrated this side, we had a c. And a constant over here and a constant over here. Don't overdo your constants. The whole thing just gets a constant on one side. Well, I generally put it on the right side. Most people do. Most mathematicians. Okay, this is the general solution. So you don't have to label it every single time and be like, I found my general solution. But this is the general solution. Good to know. And that is a general solution, meaning that for whatever value of c, I could get a different function, right? So like I don't know what c is, but back to the whole slope field idea, like whatever this function looks like, I know it's cubic, I know it kind of goes like this a little bit. So I don't know if my function is this one or if it's this one, or that was tragic, they should be like that. Or if it's this one, or if it's, I'm not drawing them well, but I don't know which one it is. I don't know what c is, but it's my vertical shift in this case. It's not always. But this is the general idea that would give me this entire family of functions. General solution, I think I should add a little bit to this. C is the answer, and this gives a family of functions. Okay, now we'll read the second sentence. Then find the particular solution that satisfies the initial condition f of 2 equals 6, meaning we now know enough information to find c. So first sentence, I don't care about c. Second sentence, I now know enough to find out what c is. So there's no need to redo the whole thing. We're going to start here at this step, and we're going to find c. And how are we going to find it? With this information. And in case you really want to know all this, this is what's going through my head. This will, there's a lot of pointing and arrows in this lesson. This will help us find C. Good to know, huh? So 6 equals 1/3 2 cubed minus 1/2 2 squared plus C. Oh boy, it's about to get fun. We'll pretend like this is calculator inactive for a minute. This would be 8/3. This would be minus 2 and then plus C. I'll do that. I get 8 equals 8/3 plus C. I will do 8 minus 8/3. That is 24/3 minus 8/3. That's equal to C. C is 16/3. Whew! Okay, are we done? No. Find the particular solution. I found C. That doesn't tell me what the function is. Final answer is this. 1/3 x cubed minus 1/2 x squared plus 16/3. If you want to get technical, and I am going to get a little technical, this is the general solution. This is the particular solution. This one's the more generalized form for whatever C value. This is the one that gives us that output with an input of 2. But here's where I should be a little more technical. This technically was f of x. Okay? Let's move on to the next question. Find the general solution for that, and then find the particular. So same idea. What I haven't talked about is the steps up here. So after this one, I want to come back and talk about the steps a little bit and talk about where they come from and all that. So let's begin with our variables in the same equation. There they are. How lovely. And they are all mixed up. I have y and x on the left. I have y and x on the right. I don't have them separated like I need to, so let's, well, separate them. So y squared is going to come up. It's like you're cross multiplying. So y squared dy equals x plus 4 dx. That looks very separated to me. Only x's are over here, only y's are over here. The variable d is more of an operation than a variable. I shouldn't even call it a variable. So we're going to, well, integrate. Now, again, let's not talk about the steps, but we'll talk about the steps. We separate, we integrate. Regardless of what we're doing, we'll start there. It felt like it was worth saying. Separate, then integrate. So y squared becomes y cubed, but it is 1/3. Let's write it differently. Let's call it 1/3 y cubed by writing it as y cubed over 3. Same thing. That is x squared, but 1/2 x squared, and that is 4x, and we'll put our c over here. And you might say, I found the general solution. No, you didn't actually. Find the general solution, y equals f of x. You have to solve this thing for f. You gotta solve for f, for y basically. You gotta solve it. So we're gonna solve it for y, okay? Things are about to get a little wacky, and it won't kill you, but something funky is about to happen that is going to be a little difficult for me to explain, but we're going to do it. We're going to triple almost everything, and that gives me y cubed equals, we'll triple this and we'll have 3x squared over 2. We'll triple this and we'll have 12x, and we'll triple the c and we get c. And that's where things get crazy and messed up. Okay, I don't know that it would necessarily be wrong for you to say 3c, but c is a constant. It could have been anything, and without reading the second sentence, because that's a kind of separate question, without reading the second sentence, we don't know what c is. So triple it, add to it, subtract from it, do what you want. It's still a constant. It'll take whatever you throw at it. If you add, subtract, multiply, divide, it's still a constant, okay? So I'm just going to keep treating it like a constant. And then, continuing to solve for y would be, well, the cube root of all this stuff, and c is going to be under there. So 3 halves x squared, wrote that slightly differently, but that's okay, 12x plus c. This is the general solution. You don't have to write that every time. General solution. Okay, in years of teaching this, I have found it best to explain it this way. Once I have a initial condition, the best place to start solving for y is going to be after you first integrate with that initial condition. That was wordy and clunky. Let me try this again. Here, step time. Separate, integrate, solve. Done. We did it. We like tripled the c and we got c because it's a constant. But now, separate, integrate, plug in, then solve. So I'm going to sort of start this process over. I'm going to start here before I ever solved, because in the process of tripling the c, I kept c. But now I'm going to find out what c is. And in the process of doing so, I can't just multiply it and pretend like it doesn't change. So x squared over 2 plus 4x plus c. Oh, let's just be tricky. We're going to evaluate it at 6, 3. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 6 for x and 3 for y and find out what c is. It is truly, truly, truly best to do it now rather than here, because in this step, again, you did some stuff to c that you just really ignored. You tripled it and never even talked about it, right? Never even dealt with it. So 3 cubed over 3, too many 3's over there, equals 6 squared over 2 plus 4 times 6 plus c. And then I'll have, that's 27 over 3, so 9 equals 36 over 2, so 18 plus 24, and that's equal to c. So 9 minus 18 minus 24 is going to give me, whoops, whoa, what's that equals c? It doesn't equal c. Getting a little carried away there. Plus c, oops. All right, so 9 minus 18 is going to give me negative 9. Negative 9 plus 24 is going to give me negative 15. Negative 15. Okay, so negative 9, yeah. No, I'm wrong. Woo, way wrong. Sorry about that. My goodness, simple math. Struggling right now. 9 minus 18 is negative 9. Minus 24 again is going to give me negative 33. Negative 33. There it is. Okay, that did it. So C is negative 33. So now I'm going to take all that I just did, put it back into this thing right here. This step right here is very important because this was before I ever started moving things around again and solving. This step comes in so handy. Like I can move forward and find my general solution, or I can plug things in and then I can find C and then keep going from there. So I'm going to come back to this step yet again, and I'm going to say, well, y cubed over 3 equals x squared over 2 plus 4x plus, minus 33. And then I'm going to solve it for y, just like I did. I'm going to get my specific or particular solution. I don't think anyone calls it a specific solution, except every now and then I'll slip up and call it that, like I just did. So I have 3 halves x squared, 12x minus 99. Now you're probably thinking, well, couldn't you have just tripled your c here and done it? I hear you. But something about that to me feels wrong by just having a 3c dangling. It's not 3c, it's just c. It's a constant. So then I will cube it. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. When I cube it, I have my function. So f of x equals cube root, 3 halves x squared plus 12x minus 99. That is the, let's write it down just because I feel like it. That, my friends, is the particular solution.